Hi everybody. I'll be summarizing one session and another panel discussion. I'll be following a couple of rules. That's one of them is that I'll be taking all responsibilities for any errors, misquotations, and misinterpretations. And two, as this has been a collective effort, we'll avoid naming names except for the individual who controlled me to be in front of you. And that person's name has been raised a few times on this platform, so I'll leave it for your curious minds to figure out. The first session that I'm reporting on is the human capital and workforce development. Just to highlight a few pointers that were raised, human, social, and natural capitals are critical, human meaning capital of the mind, while physical and financial ones are creations of humans. Africa has missed out on the first, second, and third industrial revolution. So the question was, are we going to do the same in the fourth industrial revolution? On the other hand, there was a suggestion that Ethiopia, with a strong commitment to innovation and sustainable development, is actually in a good position to lead. There is a rise in technological hubs and incubators within Ethiopia and in the broader African continent. So how can these hubs and incubators be leveraged to address current challenges? So these are the kind of points that were being raised. Oh, I can scroll like this. Good. And the other one is, can Ethiopia educate its students around its current challenges, train STEM leaders? Education has been a very intense topic of intensive discussion with passion. And then there were lessons learned from the successes of Spelman College, a small private liberal arts college for women located in Atlanta, Georgia, well recognized for its impressive track record in training black women, especially in STEM education. There was a lengthy and intensive discussion, I keep forgetting, I can scroll like this, on the state of the educational system in Ethiopia that has been in decline for the last number of decades, maybe even more. Rather than creating employable and job-creating graduate, has created a generation of low-skill and unemployable generation. So how do we address that? So to highlight some of the, what I call for action that were presented, A, is essential that Ethiopia and Africa for that matter, to join the fourth industrial revolution as a full participant in the global digital technology marathon, including looking at smart cities, leveraging the new AI cluster of technologies like Internet of Things, blockchain. This could be done while ensuring, this has to be actually, not should, this should be done while ensuring it is done in a more ethical, equitable, fair, and socially beneficial manner. The second one is there is a serious concern on the educational system that is essential to everything else that we've been discussing. There is a call for a major review and revitalization of the educational system to make it a more vibrant, relevant, dynamic, and technologically enabled one to enable addressing current and future challenges as well as opportunities. The third one is we should be able to leverage and maximize the Ethiopian STEM diaspora using potential matchmaking, mentoring, and coaching. In addition, we should have international engagement that benefit the national interests. That is critical. So that's just the highlights for the human capacity and workforce development. The second one is actually a panel discussion on empowering women. I was afraid I would have to, I'm not sure why I'm here to speak on that, but I think there is a grain of some rationality that happened, as some past evolution of how this session came about. So just to highlight why we needed to converse on this critical issue, women in Ethiopia face multiple challenges, including 85% of them reside in rural settings, faced with harsh environment to raise and manage a family, including lack of clean water, limited access to electricity, education, and health services. High maternal and infant mortality rates. Not sure how many of you know that only half of girls in school are able to make it up to 5th grade. So when they constitute just over half of our human capacity, how can we be able to leverage our full potential without taking a very serious focus on women's empowerment? Interesting thing, on average, women work 14 hours a day, as opposed to 8 to 10 hours for men. So how are we going to be able to enable them to come to their full potential and better their life, as well as contribute to the betterment of society? Women in urban settings have better, women in urban settings have better access to water, health services, and education and other programs. There is recognition to recent steps taken by the government. You shut up? Where was I? Yeah, there's recognition to recent steps taken by the government in setting the tone and an example to empowering women, particularly in the political realm, including women making up half the cabinet ministers and naming the first woman president in the country. I just also learned that out of 21 scientists that were trained for this satellite, 5 were women. And that's a very strong, good, positive achievement. In order to take this to the next and more impactful level, there is a call for a sustained movement to help women overcome existing challenges to enable them to reach their full potential. It should be all-inclusive for men to also contribute to its success and bring about real social and cultural change and realize gender parity at all levels. By the way, this comment came from men. It was interesting in the discussion, a lot of the comments were coming from men, so that was very encouraging as well. There is a need to have a strong push to bring in more and more women into STEM education. We need to capitalize on female role models, including the political appointees, the scientists, academics, and others. We also need to leverage innovative solutions and technology to improve the lives of women. Some of the examples like solar stoves, solar power, affordable water filters are examples to lessen the need for mothers or families to pull out children from the schools because they need their hands at home. So these are, following this, one of the, so I'll call it big ideas, is one, It's not really a new idea. It's creating a safe ecosystem to enable women to grow and be productive, including maintaining girls in schools, including having girls' schools, women's college, like Spelman College, women's hospitals, etc., that meet their specific needs and targeting them. And then there's a series of calls for action. Okay. I'm bartering here. So, critical to ensuring women are able to reach their full potential, we call for an overarching and well-grounded national policy that ensures girls remain in school and be able to better themselves while addressing challenges they and their families face. This should include a set of strategies to close the gender gap at all levels. Furthermore, we call on all political parties to have a sustainable development agenda that includes a commitment to have a policy to ensure girls remain in school and to have gender equality. Any party that is to form a government has to have in place a realistic and deliberate plan and accountability tied to the plan. C, private, public, educational and research institutions should establish a rigorous diversity agenda, including hiring practices, creating safe and accommodating environments, including, for example, child care, to fully utilize existing talent pools and have an inclusive working environment. And last but not least, there is an urgent need to increase the number and visibility of women within the fourth industrial revolution, artificial intelligence, and digital technology ecosystems. Thank you very much.